In this very presidential Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, Jimmy Lewis and Logan Tyler welcomed on Larry Giles to talk about safety gear that you should be running in your pack. It was a fantastic conversation that you're going to learn a lot from. Rooster Endo was featuring some pretty roosting bikes and also one bike that endoed pretty hard. And then, of course, there was a lot of good questions that got answered. You're going to learn a lot from listening to this episode, and I can't thank the sponsors enough who make this show possible. Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, and Trail Tech. Thank you so much for listening. Now here's the show.
I'm the president of this show.
Yep.
My name is Jimmy Lewis. Logan is the vice president of this show. And you are watching Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. And I think we're getting some feedback from something.
It's from them.
Oh, yeah?
The special guest.
Yeah, our special guest we're getting feedback out of.
Oh,
we need to get that echo.
They don't have any headphones on right now.
Okay, they need to turn it down somehow. Or there's a second device playing in the background. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Did you mute it? Are we done? We're figuring this out. This is how the show works. We never can do it right. Not once. But this is what we're going to do. Since it's the State of the Union address, Logan, since you're my vice president, put on a mask and just shut up and look pretty. And if you want a double mask, that's good too. Because this is the way that we do things around here. I talk and you just mask up and look pretty. What, you're not going to mask up, bro?
I'm not sick anymore. So.
It doesn't matter if you're sick or not. That protects everybody from everything. That's the way we're going to do this. So here's what you really need to know, because that's what the State of the Union. You guys got to quit getting really crappy advice and then hitting us up for the real answer. Like, don't act on the crappy advice right from the beginning, because I saw a whole bunch of different people that had problems, and it was all a result of them going down problem avenue, we'll call it. And problem avenue is when you decide that you want to what was that noise?
No.
Larry, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, problem avenue is the one where probably whatever you did last to your motorcycle is the beginning of all the problems you're now going to have. So just kind of start taking back steps of what you did, because I think we even have some questions tonight where I'm going to kind of go into this. It was like, this wouldn't be a problem if you hadn't touched the thing in the first place. So, anyhow, what else is, Husabergs are the best bikes known to man. And because I have a Husaberg problem and I'm admitting it, I think that I'm going to have another one show up here. And that means I have some KTM RFS bikes that I'm selling for, we'll call them bargain basement prices. But it's not really, because bikes, any good running bike is worth a lot more today than it was 2 years ago and 4 years ago and all that stuff. It's called inflation. And I didn't make inflation. You can't blame me for inflation. It just happened. But just because I want to sell you a good running bike, you have to pay the price. So if you want to buy an RFS KTM, a 400, a 250, or even a 525, and I'm talking about a mean 525, has a lot of power.
Loud pipe?
A lot of power. I will put a loud pipe on it if you want, and it'll have even more loud power. It'll sound like it has so much more power. So I was looking at the numbers, and everybody likes to bring up numbers, and I will. Used vehicles are up 42% from just a year ago because of this inflation stuff. And I checked my prices, and my prices are not up 42%. So that's why these are bargain basement deals on bikes. And that's why you should buy one if you want a nice look. They have carburetors on them, so there's no electronic fuel injection, none of that horrible electronic fuel injection that you don't want to have anything to do with, unless you're me. They have PDS suspension, which is the best. I'll say that most of the time. The motors are almost indestructible, and the only thing that really is wrong with those motors, the old RFS motors, is the intake valves tend to wear. So you just pop new intake valves in it. If you're a decent mechanic, it's not a big deal. And if you're not a decent mechanic, you just send it to somebody and spend a little extra money on that. So what else do we have to talk about in State of the Union, Logan?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what the State of the Union is? That's where the president, I'm doing civics here in Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. It's what we're going up against. We're competing against. That's why our viewership is probably so high right now, because everybody wants to look at something else than a babbling politician that's just saying whatever he can to make him look better and not really tell you what's actually going on. Well, they kind of do, but they put a spin on it. That's the way politics works. Doesn't matter which side or any of this other stuff. Hey, do they do that thing after the State of the Union? Does the opposing party get to have a little say?
It's a big deal for the opposing party.
They get to have their equal time, correct?
Not equal. It's like a rebuttal.
Oh,
whatever party.
Okay, I didn't know if
really they make a big deal.
I didn't know if that was State of the Union, but anyway, so it's where the president gets up to you and tells you, "Hey, this is what's going on with the U.S., bro." I mean, they'd like to say it like that, but they got to look professional.
Yeah.
Unlike this show. So what else is up? I got to go riding with Big John. That was up. That was good. Big John has a brand new Husqvarna 300 TPI, TEI Rockstar Factory Edition. It's it's TPI, but they call it a TE.
That's
with the little I.
Instead of XE, it's.
But I didn't know they made factory editions, so he has a Rockstar edition of this thing, and he got it because, and he did nothing but complain. This is Big John for you. Nothing but complain because he had to get that bike because it had all of the stuff, the things, like he wanted a certain transmission and a certain brakes and it was funny. He's like, you wouldn't believe how hard it was to find a bike like this. And I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's hard to find a bike, but he wasn't one of those guys that wanted to, take a picture or anything. He just wanted to ride the damn thing, put scratches in it. So it was pretty good times. And now he's got his big springs. So he's going to be all good. We're going to get him on for a Better Rider podcast here real soon, so we can talk about what it's like to be a bigger dude.
Episode 2 coming out soon.
Larger rider, yeah. So episode 2 coming out tomorrow,
Thursday.
If you're listening to this on Tuesday, and if that makes any sense. But you can always just go to the Better Rider podcast on all the podcast platforms and see that. That's courtesy of JimmyLewisOffroad.com. But we wouldn't be here tonight without the help of some sponsors, right, Logan? Mm-hmm. Do you know who they are?
Climb.
Right.
DDC.
What Climb stuff did you wear today?
Inversion jacket. Whatever.
Really?
That one is, yeah.
Yeah? Inversion jacket. Inversion jacket. What's it? Yeah. He has a pullover one? Like I do?
Yeah, like my
It's a zip.
company jackets.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My company jackets are inversions.
Oh, you got Climb company jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
And
30
then-
of them.
That's good. I've seen them before. Now I start remembering that. That's pretty good. Good. So you wore Climb stuff today. I'm going to pull up my Climb.
Bundle.
It's a bundle. It's a Climb.
Other side.
My backpack, my knack pack.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that up in a few minutes because tonight on the show we have Captain Larry, who's going to give us a little safety advice, which we all need, and just trying to make this show, somewhat educational, just a little bit. Moto sponsoring your favorite segment, right?
Yeah.
Rooster Endo.
Yes.
Yeah, you feeling kind of chipper tonight? You gonna ready to give it to these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Scott Sports, maker of awesome goggles. I'm still loving the light transition lenses, especially when we are riding in the other day when we had clouds and no clouds and clouds and no clouds, and then we rode across like perfectly white dirt ground. Man, I love those things, and my eyes really like them even better now. DDC, makers of really good sprockets, Delaney drive components. Go to ddcracing.net, and of course Trail Tech. So if you ever get lost, Trail Tech Voyager, we'll get you out of there. And if you have a Voyager Pro, you can use buddy tracking. And if you need a kickstand, they make kickstands too. So cooling fans, radiator fans as well. Tell us about a Yamaha, Logan.
The Yamaha 4-stroke bike is for motocross riders driven to dominate. The Yamaha YZ line of 4-stroke bikes are built for victory. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new and improved for 2022. The YZ450F and YZ250F bring the performance with powerful 4-stroke engines, reduced unsprung weight, and new suspension settings. For the full factory ride, both the YZ450 and YZ250F come in exclusive Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Editions graphic package. And you can take precision tunability to the next level with the Yamaha exclusive and industry-only free power tuner app. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today. Find your Yamaha YZ and enter victory zone.
We take a couple weeks off reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell. Maybe you should have put the mask on to read that. Okay, I think we're gonna skip getting to the questions right off the bat tonight. I think we're gonna go straight into the Captain Larry safety segment.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll get them all hooked up.
If he has AirPods, that would be fantastic.
Oh,
but
yeah. So
we'll see how this feedback is.
So
let's bring them on, and
if we have any feedback, then we'll shut them down and put them on the AirPods or whatever. How are we doing? Can you hear us good there?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on your show tonight.
Yeah, welcome to the show. So we're going to turn our headphones down just a little bit. Logan, is that better?
I would guess.
yeah, we got feedback.
Yeah. So, we do have feedback.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, is there any chance you can do headphones or something?
I've got headphones on right now, and I don't have any other audio going in the house.
Oh, so then it's on our end.
It's us?
Yeah. Try turning. What happens if you turn that soundboard off?
Turn this one off?
Yeah, see what happens.
Okay, here we go.
It's on the other side.
Engineering live on the show. Is that helping?
How's this?
I don't.
Larry, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
This is how we fix problems. That's not the problem. I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay, I can turn the headphones off and just go on the
there's the weird echo going on from us. I think we have something.
Something on here? Is your phone on?
Here, hold on. Okay, how about now? Let's try this.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it anymore.
No, it's. I think it's on the streaming side here. So
Okay.
one more check.
Test 1 2.
Yeah, that's good now.
Okay, you're loud
Okay.
and clear.
Larry Giles, welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. After at least a minute of technical difficulties, it makes for great audio.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks for having me on the show.
Wait.
I think it's that kind of latency that we have on, when we're doing these different calls. We got to try using our Google account for doing this. See if that works too. If we patch that in, but we'll work on this later. Logan, how come you didn't test the feedback loop?
When I did the Zoom, it didn't have one.
Okay. So you're claiming you're better at Zooming.
No.
Okay. So the reason we have Larry on is because you were how many years lifeguard? Oh, now we have no audio at all.
No audio at all?
Mm-mm.
Okay, how about now?
How about test 1 2?
Yeah, now we hear him.
Yeah.
Okay. So my background was 34 years in the Marine Safety Department for the city of Encinitas, and I ran dive, search and rescue, and swiftwater teams, and we did a lot of cliff rescue and open ocean rescue. So we're all over the county of San Diego, and so that's my background, and it was a great career, and just recently retired about 6 months ago.
And you have acquired the love of dirt bikes during this time.
Yeah, been out to Jimmy class a couple times, and now that I have the opportunity to focus my time on myself, I've definitely gotten into riding and bought a new KTM EXC 350. So enjoying myself.
Awesome. So we have talked a bunch of times about just kind of safety in general, and I remember you kind of quizzed me about, hey, like, what do you do? What do you carry? And then we just started talking about it, and he brought up a couple really good things. And I think one of the most important things that you did say was it had something to do with about being prepared. And I don't remember. It's kind of like we have the saying that the best kind of oil in your motorcycle is to have some. So there was a saying you made about safety that sort of came this way.
Yeah. So like in the industry I came from, no plan is a plan to fail. So
that's it. No plan is a plan to fail. You got that, Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to remember this?
Should.
For a whole week? Okay. So we started talking about just like, hey, what do you carry in this? And do you have this other stuff? And I talked about some things that some of my other riders carry with them. And so we wanted to just a little bit talk about kind of general safety. And then like, so what someone should be carrying if you're carrying stuff, like what would be a good thing to carry. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my riding pack and pull out the stuff that I have, and we're going to see how adequate it is or inadequate, which it probably would fall in a little bit more inadequate. And then just some general things on what, so if you have questions about this while we're here in the chat, go ahead and kind of throw those up in the chat and we can address some of this stuff, but we'll get into sort of what our kit is and then go from there. So you want to, who's going to, you want to show yours first or me show mine first?
Sure, I'll go over what I have. I have a table full of kits, and I have just a bag full of miscellaneous things like for starting a fire, different compasses, and I got my medical stuff in there that I think that would be appropriate for the ride that I'm going to go do, depending on the topography, time of year, and, the depth of the ride, how isolated it is. And then also what kind of resources are going to be available to get in there in case I have a problem or somebody else that I come across or my partner that I'm riding with. So, I have a main bag, this big green one right here in my truck, my van, and it's got the heavy duty medical side of it. Working 34 years in EMT, I've acquired things in the field that I think would be great for having just in case. And so, do I carry this out when I'm riding? No, it's pretty heavy, but if I had to, and we're in a remote location, myself or somebody else could go back and get this equipment or this gear and bring it back until we can get better resources there. So, and that bag is, it's got splints in it. I've got a stethoscope, EP cuff, pulse oximeter, more blankets, and just a variety of just EMT type equipment and supplies in that. On the lighter side, when I got this climb pack right here that I bring. And the
looks basic, really familiar. That looks very familiar. That looks like exactly like the one I'm going to throw up on the table, except it's not sun-fladed and bleached like mine.
I really like this pack because I can put things that I always know that I'm going to need. So my train of thought is, before I go out, what kind of communications do I have and what's available to me? Does my cell phone work in that location? Do I need a GPS? My wife just went out and got me one of these Garmin InReaches. And then Trail Tech is another great device. We used to have a couple of those, and somehow they vanished because they're pretty popular. But anyhow, there's a lot of great technology out there that really will help you in these situations if you ever, get into one. So making sure that you get good cell coverage, or, you have satellite coverage. You can also always, rent a sat phone for those areas that you're going to go into that have limited access and coverage in them. So those are the first thing that goes in my head is communications before I go ride, and who are we going to get a hold of if something goes wrong? or we come across somebody else out there on our ride.
That's a pretty good way to kind of start thinking about it, though. As far as like, I never really thought about like, I do think about how I'm going to communicate, because I'm going to go into my bag here, and so the first thing I'm going to pull out is my InReach. Also, so this is an older one. It's actually when it was InReach, when it was DeLorme, it was pre Garmin, and so it's still the same thing. I actually just had to put a battery in this because the battery finally failed, but still it works. And because there's a lot of places where I'm riding where there is no cell service, and I generally, in areas I'm familiar with, I do know where there's cell service, and then I know where there's not. But I also ride alone quite a bit, and anytime I'm riding alone, I have this on, and there's someone that knows that it's on and it's tracking. We have kind of a system, and maybe one of these shows will kind of go over like some really unique ways to use these in general. And then of course, you have your cell phone, and is your battery charged? Do you have a way to charge it back up? There's all kinds of questions like that as well. And one more thing I'd like to add to that is, if your cell phone battery is going, just find yourself in a situation, your cell phone battery starts to go dead. Someone told me that one of the best things to do is to start sending emails out if you can get your location, your GPS coordinates and stuff, send your location out in emails or texts, and say that, hey, my battery's low, and that, that way that there's people that'll at least be checking what might know exactly where you were at the last point, as long as you're not moving. And then if you are moving, let them know that you're moving and kind of what direction. So, yep, you're next, Larry. Keep going.
Yeah. So, and that's a great thing, to bring up, is always check to make sure you got good batteries and good charge. I think the other thing is like, I just, got this Garmin InReach, and I don't know how to use it. And one of the biggest things out when I did a lot of rescue star work is, if you didn't know how to use a piece of equipment, the equipment was worthless. So that's another thing, is really kind of dive in, get in some YouTube videos, and read the manual and figure out how this is proficient.
For sure, with the InReach, it's simple, because I have some of the guys I rally train with that are not rocket scientists, but they can operate that thing just fine when they remember to operate it. That's half the problem. Like you just said, it's like, and so now in a lot of our map books, the very first thing it says is turn on your tracker, send a message, so that we can, they're not allowed to leave until they ping up on the tracker. Because we had them take off before, and the tracker's not on. It's like, oh, this is going to be an interesting day. So anyways, okay. What else do you got?
And then redundancy, I have a Garmin watch. I bring an extra GPS, and I always bring my phone just in case. So I have a little bit of redundancy. And then the next thing I go into is, food, water. What kind of ride am I going to go do? And I'll just base it off of the duration of the ride, what I'm going to bring for hydration, and what kind of food I want, or power bar or something along those lines. Then my next step is, there is something serious that happens out on the trail. From my experiences, if you get into a serious situation out there, what can you do? What's realistic? And one of the things I always carry wherever I go is I carry a couple of basically tourniquets. And they're great. There's a lot of these tourniquets on the market that are quick and easy to put on, and I highly recommend these. They're great to just put in your car or in your backpack, but always carry a tourniquet or some sort of supplies that you can make one out there in the field, and that's one of the biggest ones.
The sleeve of a jersey will work in a pinch, by the way. having been on some time when we cut the sleeve off of a jersey and tied it around and pinched down because we didn't know how bad the bleeding was. I think there's some training that should be involved with tourniquets, correct?
Absolutely. And there's a lot of great videos, but getting your first aid or first responder certification is huge, and that will give you a good, set of skills to apply out there in the field for yourself or somebody else.
Yep. So I probably should, because I've done the basic, I guess it's just basic first aid, which is something that we have to do for some of the coaching certifications that I have. And it's funny. They focused more on like, heat prostration and hypothermia and stuff like that than really kind of severe injuries, because it wasn't really directed towards, motorcycle riding, where I see like what we see is like broken bones and then head injuries and bleeding are kind of the three things when it gets serious. Those are the three kind of categories that I've noticed.
Yeah. So I'm skipping around a little bit, with my medical training and stuff like that. I've kind of honed this down. So I may not be hitting, this in a textbook way, but, one of the biggest things I always carry is bleeding control.
Right. And that's good.
Gauze. And then the other thing is I got hemostatic gauze in case you get a penetrating wound. You land in some, branches, trees, or, on some sort of, hard terrain.
Stick. Yeah.
And this stuff works great. And that also takes training. And there's some information on the back as well. But, you definitely need to get the training and the certification to go with these things. So tourniquet, hemostatic gauze. The other thing I bring is a blanket, and I have two blankets. I got just your regular silver kind of metallic looking flat blanket, just super basic. They're very cheap and they're very, easy to put in your pack. And then I actually have a more serious blanket, and basically it is like a sleeping bag, and I can actually put somebody or myself completely in it and then draw down, just where the face is exposed. You keep the airway going, but to retain the heat as much as possible. So that's the other thing, you're treating for shock or somebody starts to get, hypothermic. That's a big thing to consider is carrying in your pack.
Yeah. So those blankets, the reflective blankets, can be used as, when you don't need them for warmth, they can be used for shade, which I've seen done before. You can find something to prop it up or lean it up against the bike and get underneath it if it's a heat related situation. And then you can, like with that setup there, you could definitely double insulate if you needed to. And it depends on the, again, time of year, temperature, things like this.
Yeah. And the metallic ones, you get that in the sun and it puts off a lot of reflective light on that too. So it could be, a little bit of a signaling device. So that's, that's what I'm carrying in my pack. You're out in a rural environment and, you really think about if something really does happen, airway, breathing, circulation. And those are the first things that cross my head.
That's the ABCs that they talk about.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much real brief that I put in my pack just to carry, when I'm riding with somebody else or just myself. So I got my communications, I've got tourniquet, hemostatic gauze, a blanket, and I just carry just some Curlex, just in case, I can make my own little Band-Aid out of it if I had to. And then if I get into bigger stuff, I've got a sling in case you dislocate the shoulder or you break the arm. I've got the SAM splints in my other bigger pack. And so I have different levels of packs, based out of my vehicle and what I'm carrying on my back. And then I do have just a regular big backpack right here that just carries an assortment of other stuff, fire studying things, if I'm going to go out for longer rides. And I always bring, reading glasses, 54 years old. So I have extra glasses just in case, I get out there. And, and I carry more than just one starting source of, to start a fire with. And then also illumination. I carry, not just a headlamp, but I also have several different flashlights that I carry as well. And then, I get the flashlight on my phone as well as a redundancy. So, that's kind of just going out. That's a basic ride for me. That's what I'm carrying in my pack.
It makes me feel better because I think I have most of those items. I'm going to kind of peel into my pack here. Hey, Logan, these are rubber gloves. What do I use those for? Oh, there's some assorted tools. I have my Motion Pro tools in here. I'm going to pull all this stuff out. Another plier here, but there's something in here I wanted to show you. That's tape and stuff. Here's the other mask that you get to wear. You want to wear this mask? That was in case I had to stop
that will give you COVID.
Stop at the store. Quick steal.
A fire.
Yeah. We'll get down. I know it was in here someplace. There was an important thing. Maybe I stuffed it in the other compartment when I was peeling stuff out. A knife. There's a knife in there. A KTM axle wrench, and there actually, if I see how dusty that is, if I actually snorted that right now, I'd get Advil.
Yeah,
because of my Advil things. But I pull out my InReach. That's always sitting up in here. I don't have the tourniquet jacket, climb lightweight climb jacket. These are my extra pair of gloves that I always carry. These are the normal gloves because last time I was riding, I had my windstopper gloves, which are usually in here for when it gets cold. This is parts. Flashlight. I got this. This is a good one here. Got a good flashlight, and then it does that and does that. So it's kind of like one of those little emergency flashlights, and you can stick it to things and set it up on stuff. So there's my flashlight. And then I'm pretty sure I have 2 packs in here. So I have these little ultralight, watertight medical kit. And I think this one has like the normal stuff in it. It's going to have, I haven't opened it up for a long time. I remember I looked in it. Yeah, it has the gauze stuff, little things to tape stuff together. But the usual things. And then I have this other one, and this is really cool. So this is one that you can get. It's the Rider's First Responder Kit, and you can get it from the Kurt Caselli Foundation. And it has a lot of the same stuff that we were just talking about. It's kind of similar to this one with the gauze and those little triage bandages. Some alcohol wipes. Would that be antiseptic wipes?
Yep.
Will those be helpful? Good to have? Yeah. Let's see. What's this?
It's a breathing tube, I think.
Oh, a CPR 30.2. How does that work, Logan?
I don't know. They were handing them out when we were CPR trained.
Oh, yeah? So that's good. It's so you don't have to really give them a good old lip lock?
Mm-hmm. I think.
Hey, look, a spare pair of gloves, Logan. Life-saving first aid device. This is the SWAT, the stretch and tuck tourniquet. So I do have a tourniquet. I didn't know that I had that. That's pretty cool. See, here's how unprepared I am, Larry, that I don't know exactly what I have. And there's a Sharpie so I can draw mustaches on you after you die. So that's in that part of the kit. And it's a pretty good little kit. It's kind of funny because I knew what was in the other one, and I hadn't really dug into this one because I got it. Lots of bandages and stuff. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Look, an instruction manual. And it starts out with a disclaimer, which is always good. It means it's probably got some good stuff. Yeah. And it gives you all this stuff. So if somebody finds me laying on the ground, they can open up the instructions and then, perform whatever procedure is necessary. So, and there's something else that was really important that I wanted to show you that I know was, oh, here it is right here. So this little bag, Larry, this is the important thing right there. This is my personal medical information sheet that's in here. So, and the guys that I ride with know that it's in here, and they know that if they, scoop me up, this has a lot of stuff about my ID, my insurance, blood type, things like that. do not resuscitate, that things, all those kind of things in there. But this is in here in the same pack that I have my safety blankets. So, but it's kind of right there, and it says Jimmy Lewis's personal medical information. I think there's also a copy of my driver's license and a couple other things in case I start losing it. But I got mine's gold, by the way. Is that one better than silver?
Platinum.
Yeah, gold one, and then of course I have stickers. So if you go riding with me, you get one of these "fuck you" stickers. So all good. So what grade does my kit get, Larry? Oh, hey, there's some cash. There's cash in there.
Always buy your way out of a situation. I would give your pack right now. I'd give you out of 5. I'd give you like a 3.9. That's a pretty good pack.
And I lost a whole point by not knowing exactly what was in that stuff, and so because you should know, because you don't have time. That's the thing, is when an accident happens. What is it that he wanted you to remember?
No plan is a plan to fail.
Right. So my medium half-ass plan is semi-ready to fail.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, I'm going to get on top of this. I also have a tow rope in here usually. Hopefully there's a tow rope and some big zip ties. But tow rope can be used as a tourniquet, right? In time of need.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got a knife and
knives
that
here.
rope can be cut, and you can put a stick into that and rotate it to get the tension.
My knife's coated with ibuprofen. It's all good. So that's kind of the thing. So, anyways, do we have any good questions in the chat, Matt?
Just some people making some kind of putting their 2 cents in. Victor said a quick clot bleeding control kit could help a lot.
That's the gauze that Larry showed. Yeah.
He also said tampons can work in an emergency, which I've heard of this before.
Yeah, and those work good for
early bandage
starting as well. So
for starting fires. You know what I'm a little worried about is I don't see my fire starting stuff in here right now, which I'm going to add to it if I can't dig it up. But I usually have. So what I usually have, and I suspect it's in one of these other bags here with some of the other tools, is I have one of those. It's like a stick of magnesium with a flint on the back of it. And so you use your knife to cut some of the magnesium off, and it will light wet wood. There it is right there. Yeah, it will light wet wood on fire. And fire can be a really helpful thing, especially when you're broken down and you're bored out of your mind. At least you can start lighting stuff on fire. Oh, hey, I got something else. This may not apply to us desert folks, but bug spray. That's some really strong repel DEET bug spray, because I have broken down, or not broken down, I've been delayed. I haven't broken down very much, but I was delayed once in one of the most gnarly mosquito infested places ever, and those things just went after me. And it was warmer time of year, and they were going through my shirt, and and if I didn't have anything, and I got annihilated. So what are you looking up, Matt?
How to pronounce what Victor just put in, because I think it's actually a really good point.
What's that?
It's the new Monthonrax kit.
What's
Noonmon? I can't pronounce it. I know what he said is essentially when you have air like in around like a collapsed lung. You have a kit right there.
Pneumothorax.
There we go.
Pneumothorax.
That's how I know.
Oh, did you get inflated?
I did.
Oh, you inflated him.
No, I got uninflated.
Oh, they uninflated you.
Yeah.
How does that work?
There was air in between my chest wall and my lung. So they took it out. So
a flail chest injury.
There's a weird thing about how you're built, and Logan was tall, skinny people have an issue with collapsed lungs. Got a big lung medical name for it. Folks that have that, Logan was diagnosed with. I'm actually diagnosed with, even though I've thrown a bunch of beer on my long, skinny build. And why I've had multiple collapsed lungs.
So
Do not hit the ground hard is really the
the
secret.
best thing to not avoid a collapsed lung is to avoid a collapsed lung. But like, so
But if you are a tall, skinny build, you are
tall, skinny people are more susceptible to this.
a lot, like the numbers are through the charts. How much more?
Do you know this, Larry?
No, that's a new one.
No. Yeah.
It's a medical name. I don't
Yeah. Logan's
Mark
dad here is
But
dropping knowledge on us from the sidelines. He doesn't have Bob over there to
You know,
compare the information. So let's just say, like, if you do slap the ground really hard and you get the wind knocked out of you, man, it's been a long time since I've done that. Thank God.
if you're tall and skinny, you could very well have a pneumothorax that Matt was talking
Pneumothorax. Okay, so
about. And your lung just collapses.
Collapses.
On itself.
and then you can't breathe.
So you're done if you don't get
it pumped back up.
Nothing in the bag gonna help you.
Were you asleep for a little while after you did this? No, you just couldn't breathe.
Well, it was my left one was fine. My right one was like
Collapse.
10%.
Yeah. And so but when do they do this? Out in the field, or they do it?
No, I was at the hospital.
Oh, at the hospital,
Yeah.
and then they pumped you back up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to know
It takes
anything
a little
about
bit
it.
of training
They
too.
suck it back up.
Yeah.
Oh, they
a little
drank.
bit more advanced.
Yeah. Well, this is beyond the scope of our discussion right now.
But not really.
Or-
If you're tall and skinny, don't crash.
Yeah. If you're tall and skinny, don't crash. That's what we're getting from the side. Did you hear that, Logan?
Yeah.
Don't crash. It's a lot better. I like not crashing too, because then I don't have to hurt for the next few days.
So what I went over here was pretty brief, but there's one more point I think that's really good to bring up is who you're riding with and communicating with them. If you're allergic to bees or anything like that, you should be carrying an EpiPen with you. So in case you get stung, and the anaphylactic shock, let those people know that you have that pen with you. If you have to have certain medications in case you have a condition or something like that, and carrying that and letting people around know, and in case you have some situation, they can get that medication out for you, and you can get it on board and turn
probably
that situation around.
Probably the same sort of notification if you're diabetic as well, because I've actually been riding with people that I don't know exactly which direction they went, but they needed to eat sugar really bad because they all of a sudden they weren't themselves anymore. And they didn't, I wasn't aware of it. Somebody else was aware on the one time it happened really bad. Somebody goes, "Oh shoot, he's diabetic. He needs to eat." And it was absolutely, like it was like he knocked himself silly. But he was fully functioning, but just something was way off. And then he ate, and 10 minutes later he was back to normal, and then apologizing because he's like, "Yeah, I screwed up." And I'm like, "Whoa!" So that's actually really good advice too, knowing when. Yeah, let people make sure people are aware. And again, if you're riding alone, even together, with people, make sure some people know where you're at. Have at least a general idea of where you're at and what your kind of general plan is, just in case something does start going wrong. You just never know. Two people could ride off a cliff, not paying attention.
And the most common stuff is real simple stuff: dehydration, heat or cold exposure. Those are the ones that really kind of get people consistently. And getting stung by a bee. Those are the ones that, for whatever reason, that'll just put people down right away, and then now you have a situation.
Yeah, that is pretty good. The easy stuff to protect from. So, okay, any other questions in the chat, Matt?
No whole lot, just some general discussion. Does any from SS on YouTube, does any of the companies make a decent pack that fits on the dirt bike fender?
I don't know of us. I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of packs. It just really depends on, what you're going to put in there and how beat up you want it to get. 'Cause it bounces, the stuff on the bike bounces around quite a
Right.
bit, way more than you. So, and the medical stuff is actually pretty light. And I mean, I just see how, like, when I have my vitamin I and my little thing, and usually it, like you see there, I probably threw the bag down, or maybe I crashed on it and it cracked, and then it just turned into powder over the course of time. Like I said, that bag's getting an upgrade. It's probably about time. I mean, like you saw Larry's nice new shiny one there, and mine's probably 3 years old, and yeah, it's time for, because the bottom is actually down at the bottom where all the tools have been rubbing, is kind of starting to wear out. But
Mark Daniels also made another point.
Yep.
Broken collarbone is one of the most common injuries. Having a triangle bandage or two or a collarbone harness can help stabilize the fracture.
what's the take on is Larry going to pull something out there?
Triangular bandage. They're super light, easy.
Yep.
To carry. So you have a broken shoulder or a dislocated shoulder. These are some of the easiest way to splint that up. And then it also relieves the amount of weight pulling on that. So it'll ease some of the pain that you have.
Was that what you were talking about earlier, is like kind of this is the splint sort of thing?
Yeah. You can use a triangular bandage to splint, help splint up a shoulder or an arm injury. And then you have the SAM splints. These are real light aluminum in the inside. They flex, and that would be for more of a long bone break, like an arm or leg. And so,
as San Felipe, as San Felipe Bob says, the Manzanita sticks work really good, and a toe strap. That's how we splinted Bob's leg that he accused me of breaking in the first place, which I was indirectly involved in the second breaking of it, but not the first one. I mean, I just invited him on the trip, and evidently that got me
in trouble.
In trouble for it. So, any other ones? Everybody says not crashing is the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to happen. It's kind of just like it's better to be a little bit prepared than to be not prepared at all. And for sure, Larry, thanks for kind of helping us out. I'm going to refer all my safety questions over to you now. When we start getting asked, because this will open the doors when people start watching this on YouTube and listen to it on the podcast. People will start having some questions. A lot of times they'll have some scenarios, or they'll tell a story about what they did, kind of like when they start telling me what they did with their motorcycle. And when I have petroleum product related questions, I go to Chris Reel. And so you've now officially been indoctrinated into the whether you like it or not, the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday family. And so we'll start pushing those questions off to you. Logan, do you have any questions for Larry?
No.
You don't. You're the one that crashes around here a lot.
Well, I go big and not really many little ones.
So you can't help yourself at that point.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, call 911.
Mm-hmm.
and always think about how long you have to wait for that 911, especially out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're not the first ones on. Hey, Larry, I'd like to share a glass of tequila with you. Do you have your tequila on point there?
Oh, of course. I got a whole bottle right over here.
Yeah, I got the really good stuff here. I got look at this. It's here, Logan. Why don't you make yourself useful and help a brother out? I just did a full on health screening evaluation, and guess what came up on one of my look, he's way outdoing us. Hey, I know I got a bottle of that stuff too. Where do you think I got that?
Stuff. I don't know.
I think you got that one for us.
I'm gonna switch so the chat can see what he's got here.
Yeah, he's got the Syncoro.
He's got a heavy hand. I taught him that.
Highly recommended.
There we go.
Highly recommended. Yeah, we're here on the budget basement, but this is good. If you're just looking for a little something, this 4 Freedoms, it's in a plastic bottle. It's almost like the Kessler and stuff. It's kind of a surprise, but yeah, I did a health survey screening thing where they checked all my stuff, and guess what was on the avoid list? Agave nectar. So, riding motorcycles is dangerous too. You should probably avoid those. So anyways, Larry, thanks a lot for coming on and showing us your kit and evaluating ours. And we will, I'm sure we'll be in touch, and say hi to Emily for me.
Will do.
We'll
Thanks for having me.
see you out on the trail.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Larry.
Thanks for coming on. Hey, we're gonna get right into questions. Bud, you didn't want to wear the mask, did you?
I didn't get the
You didn't get the shtick there?
no.
Yeah, I know. You didn't even know what the State of the Union was.
Which I thought they covered that in school. Like, I remember being told what the State of the Union address was.
No. I haven't learned
I
it.
also told them to never wear a mask.
Yeah. Well,
Do it.
come on, you can do it for your buddy Jimmy.
Don't do
St-
it. Oh,
stay-
yeah, that he should have got.
Yeah, they stay on the show.
Yeah, that he should have
Logan, listen to Jimmy.
Oh, hold on. We turned that.
I fixed it. I
Okay.
turned it back on. I got it working again. I just got to adjust the volume now. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Any other stuff? Great podcast with First Aid. I saw that a second ago. I don't remember. Where did it go? It disappeared.
Wait, great podcast with.
First Aid. Oh yeah, that's us. Well,
that's I think that's one of my favorite interviews we've done.
yeah.
That was a really good one.
Yeah, it's funny because you weren't doing your job. Kind of like at the start of the show when nothing
Yeah.
else worked.
Yeah.
I was kind of giving you the look. Hey, can I see some questions? And
Yeah.
like you were just fascinated.
Yeah.
But this is important stuff. I mean, we try to make it fun, but we also try to, bring you some nuggets of knowledge
Stuff, yeah.
along the ways. I mean, you have to listen through all our technical difficulties. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Logan, thank Matt for the technical difficulties.
Thanks, Matt.
And
Really don't know where this comes from.
For getting wrapped up in the show so much, he wasn't actually doing the producing. So we'll call him half a producer, right? So
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Thanks, Matt.
There we go.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, I'm sure I have faith that Logan can step in. It's just two buttons, right?
That's
Basically.
what we've heard.
So someone put a third button in front of me, and I got really confused. That's what happened.
Okay. Hey, back to the State of the Union address. State of Dirt Bike Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. We're not at war. We are not at war with anybody. We're not fighting any of the other bald guys.
We're not putting any sanctions on.
No sanctions on bald guys. We're not trying to
so
crush
speaking
them.
of bald guys,
I replaced
have a question.
I replaced my 90-degree fuel thing with the straight one just out of hate, but it's not retaliation.
right?
Yes?
Okay, so coming back to the bald guy, so you don't have the most amount of hair on your head, right?
No, I'm bald.
Right.
There's guys
So-
though. There's other dudes. Some people confuse us because we're
Yeah.
on the YouTubes.
But I hear the blow dryer go off when you come out from the shower.
The
Is that
blow
like for the-
dryer.
Yeah, like a hair dryer.
No, when I come out of the shower, you hear the clipper.
No, I thought I heard a blow dryer, like a hair dryer. I thought
Ooh.
maybe it's like for your facial hair.
I'm trying to think of what the blow dryer noise is.
I thought I heard a blow dryer.
Matt's watching me in the bathroom. This is getting really strange.
The office is right next to it. So.
I know it's literally right outside the front door
Yep.
because it is the front door, and then you walk out the front door of the house, and you're in the
And then
office.
there's the office.
This is the largest office that any motorcycle publication has. Facility, largest office facility.
Not just the front one.
Anywhere. It's bigger. It's bigger than the old Dirt Rider magazine, and that was palatial, well lit, huge.
Really?
Yeah. It's and I don't even have a car museum on the premises, and it's still bigger than some of the other ones.
Well, you do
Just-
have a dirt bike museum. It's just
It's
the
kinda-
normal vintage.
It's the Husaberg Mahal. It's really awesome. You didn't even hit the bell, ding
Cool.
dong.
I think we actually had a general question
Okay.
in the chat I want to get to because there's not a whole lot of other just normal questions.
Hey,
Oh, here we
you're
go.
welcome for us rescuing you from the State of the Union, but I'll get back to it. John Bailey, what does he want to know?
Howdy guys, sitting out on a 1,000-mile Baja ride Friday on my 2021 300 XCW. Any suggestions for monkey butt?
Well, my question is, I mean, you've read all the internet forums. How do you expect your 2021 300 XCW to run more than 30 miles without having something go wrong with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have 118 hours on mine, and I've only put about like 20 of them on myself, and I'm still amazed that it just keeps running. And all I do is put gas and oil in it, and I clean the filter, and I change the transmission fluid, and it just keeps on running, despite all the guys that sees them, like usually right when they get them home. They send it down the street. So, okay. Back to the question, John. Sorry about that. Monkey butt. You know what's funny is I stand up quite a bit when I ride. Even almost, yeah, I would say, man, most of the time when I ride, I stand up. But you could get a Seat Concept seat, but you'd have to wait a long time.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah, those are really good. Man, they're really good. I really like my seat. You notice how I talk better certain times about certain things?
Right.
Yeah. So that's good. But they have, some people use monkey butt powder. It's baby powder, but there's a brand called Monkey Butt Powder. And they've had good luck with that. And I don't know if that's because you got a sweaty ass and that helps, or maybe you have a dry ass and it's chafing. I don't know. I don't get this. I'm probably one of the worst guys to answer the monkey butt question. But standing up would probably be, wearing the right
You will not
shorts.
Get it sitting down. I mean, standing up.
Yeah, you won't get it standing up.
You will not get it standing up.
Yeah, I mean, I rode the damn Paris to Dakar when it was 21 days long, and I didn't get monkey butt. I mean, I literally, and there was sections we rode a lot on they weren't really paved roads. We had a lot of transit sections and things like this where you're just kind of sitting down and cruising when you weren't racing. But I just haven't. I mean, I did like the Tour of Idaho, and that was a lot of roads and sitting, and I didn't get it then. So it might. I was going to start saying maybe the shorts that you're wearing could play a big role.
Mm-hmm.
I've had.
You can't control where you sweat out of.
Well, I know
People sweat out of their armpits.
You can't control where you sweat out of, and I'm just wondering if it's
unique to each individual.
Yeah. I was gonna. Oh, San Felipe Bobby says you can answer the monkey butt question. Well, then answer it. Monkey butt powder is great. He says that, and that was a long time ago. Fresh balls work better. Victor, thank you. RJ Roger Hurd got his name right. It didn't.
There we go.
Got it right. Roger Hurd says lotion your crack. Okay, these are things. I was gonna say like cotton kills. I've heard this before when they just talk about like shirts that you're wearing, when you're riding and different things. And I didn't realize how important like the undergarments that I wear were. The whether it's first layer, like I wear the Climb Aggressor 1.0 a lot of time when it's cooler, and even when it starts warming a little bit, because it does a little bit of wicking. And then I've worn some ones that are actually cooling materials. A company called Virus made these things that cooled you, and they had some shorts that were like cooling. So maybe give something like that a try. I think they put zinc or something into the material, or one of those materials. It's a antimicrobial, something like that. And what's cool about those ones that I found is you can like just take them in the shower and rinse them out, and they dry out really quick, and then they're ready to go the next day. So on multi-day rides, I've had good luck with that. Actually, usually I just end up jumping in a river, clean myself out, ready to go. So, okay.
So would like a sheepskin or like goat skin or
the furry seat cover?
Yeah. Would that kind of help too?
I don't know. I've seen guys, some guys love those. They have those little strap-on pads that they put on, like usually a KLR 650.
Yeah.
It's, it's that kind of thing. But I don't know how far that's going to go with your bros on your KTM 300, unless you can get it like bleached KTM orange. It might not be.
Get it anodized.
Anodized, yeah. So Michael Pounds, what does he want to know?
How can I minimize chain slap?
Well, properly adjusted chain would be my first thing. And then you have to have a non-worn out chain. And these are just things I'm just kind of coming out with the top of my head, because a lot of times people think that the slap is up and down, but I've actually seen it where it's side to side, and the slap is actually hitting the frame rail or your kickstand. You know, it's kind of flopping around, doing something like that.
Could it be in too low of a gear?
Too low of a gear, or too high of a gear? You mean? Too tall of a gear, we'll say.
Too tall of a gear.
So you're just like really letting the tuk. Michael, I'd like to actually. I'm gonna guess he's riding a big 4-stroke.
Yeah.
A bigger 4-stroke is my guess, and he's riding in a taller gear, and so maybe noticing that you should downshift. Yeah, might help that out a little bit, but make sure your chain is all in good shape. And then also there's some chain pads, different brands of chain pads are noisier, and I will tell you that like on the KTM EXCs and stuff, they're a little bit softer because they make less noise. They actually had to make them softer because that chain slap was causing problems in sound tests. So that's the thing. Curly Stoker, I like to say Curly, says baby wipes morning, midday, and at night. Baby wipes. That's how you minimize the MB.
There we
Monkey butt. Okay.
Do we want to go to commercial break?
Is it that time?
Yeah.
It is 8.
Okay, we'll go to commercial break, and we'll come back with the questions on the sheet, and then we'll do Rooster Endo, and we'll go from there. So enjoy some commercials. Oh, by the way, bad news. Bad news is that the Adelano Grand Prix got canceled. So we don't have that commercial anymore, do we?
I pulled it.
It got pulled. Yeah, so we don't have that commercial anymore. There was just some there was some issues. The gears didn't mesh right and stuff, and so I guess they ended up having to pull the plug on that. So I'm sorry about that. We were kind of excited to see that. I know the adult mini bike racers were getting all riled up. What were you saying, Matt?
We should still have Ty Davis back on, though.
Oh, yeah. We need to get Ty. Ty has probably as many tech tips and stories as I do.
Yeah.
And it's funny, is our universes collided a very few times at very short periods and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he's out doing the same thing as me on dirt bikes, like at different levels, at higher levels, and racing. And some of the accomplishments he had in racing are extremely, extremely high. And it'd be interesting for him to tell some of those stories. And he has a good line of products too, so he can come on and pimp those. I just put a fuel filter on my KTM 950 or 1090. So many bikes. Okay,
there we go.
Commercial break. See you in a few minutes.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Oh, and we're back, and Logan's late again. I don't know what he was doing over there. He went to sit on a couch. Was the couch nice? You should close that door, because there's a lot of cold air coming in out of there. Yeah, I had it open because I made some furniture over the weekend. I did. I got back into my beatnik furniture building.
The medicine cabinet looks fucking good.
Oh, did you see the thing? Look at the stereo thing that I built. Go walk in that door and look at the stereo thing right next to the TV. I made that this weekend. So I could retire. I've been told I could retire and start making furniture full time up in the mountains, off the grid.
Oh.
Just what everybody wanted to know on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. This is the show where we talk about motorcycles and motorcycle related products. I'm Jimmy Lewis. I'm the president. Logan Tyler is the vice president. We will continue with the State of the Union as necessary. And then Matt's going to have the rebuttal whenever he wants to after we turn off the play button.
It's just me plugging my beginner class.
Oh, yeah. Matt Mattoon's Jimmy Lewis Off-Road Training Beginner Classes. He's going to actually start having group sessions.
Yep.
And that way, if you know somebody that needs to learn how to ride and you want to teach them how to ride the right way, and especially if you're connected to that person, a family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, something like that, send them to Matt. Preserve your relationship and let Matt teach them how to ride. You can email matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com to find out all about that. And listen to the Better Rider podcast. It's another one we do where I don't talk as much about myself. So, Logan, let's get into the questions.
Oh, do you want to start it off?
You want me to do that first one?
Yes.
This is a long one. Todd Harmon says, hello, Jimmy and Logan. Thanks for taking the time and investing energy to put Tech Talk Taco and Tequila Tuesday together. Thank God I had a little bit of tequila tonight because it wouldn't be the same without it. I hope you can help with a cooling system mystery. My 2013 KTM 450 XCW with 525 hours on it, 15,000 miles, a stock engine and cooling system, is leaking a disturbing amount of coolant. So this is really good. I'm getting this question now. He told me the year, make, model, and the time on it, and like all this stuff. He just basically laid it out, which is really good. Then he gets good and detailed. It's using 50 to 100 milliliters of coolant every 150 to 200 miles of non-gnarly dirt roads. Some of the usage is due to overfilling the radiator and the level dropping below the top of the fins. This is a good point that he brings up. So if you fill your KTM radiator all the way up to the top and you ride it, the expansion, the heated expansion, since on most KTMs there's not a coolant recovery tank, when it heats up and expands, the pressure is going to push a little bit out. So generally, I always say it's like the top of the fins. You know, when you look in there, and you know this from looking in yours, you know how it's never totally full?
Yeah.
But you know, when the bike's level, by the way, when it's on the kickstand, it can be different if you have a kickstand, but it usually sits just above the top of those little fins. And that's plenty. And when you start it up, then you watch it start flowing across and it, you know, kind of half fills up that cavity. So anyways, which is normal. So he says, there are no obvious external leaks and the bike has never overheated. Never, ever overheated. You got to ride the shit out of that thing, buddy. Overheated a couple times. In May, I started observing oil in the coolant. This is a problem. Okay. White smoke on cold starts and coolant usage. So he replaced the water pump seal, cleaned the water pump shaft, inspected the cylinder head, and cylinder mating surfaces for warpage. Here we go crazy. With a Starlet flat bar, and it passed.
Here we go crazy.
I used high-end machinist grade tools and spent several evenings at the kitchen table measuring and remeasuring all of the dimensions outlined in the engine manual. All dimensions were within spec, and there was no obvious issues with the prime suspects, the old gaskets. I replaced the fan thermal switch, piston ring, cylinder head gasket, base gasket, and valve guide seals. It no longer smokes, and the coolant is clean, but it's still using leaking coolant. I've also tried a different radiator cap. My next step is to have the oil analyzed, install a coolant recovery tank, and if possible, perform a cooling system pressure test. So Todd's like he's right on the money, if not overkill. Kind of seems like an engineer to me.
Kind of a little bit machinist tools.
So yeah, machinist tool engineer. I mean, all good, but sometimes you have to come back down to Jimmy world. We have to Jimmy rig something. So I promise you, if oil was going into, if you're, excuse me, not COVID, that's gone. You know, by the way, we're at war.
Yeah.
I mean, So
fixed it.
COVID's done.
We
And
fixed it, like it or not.
yeah, so it never affected me that I know of. I just ride dirt bikes. So where we're at with this is when it was putting coolant into the oil, it was obviously the seal at the impeller. And so he cleaned the water pump shaft, and I suspect he replaced the water pump seal. There should be 2 seals in there, to my knowledge. It's not a single. Wait a minute. I'm thinking RFS now. So to be honest with you, I don't think have I on any of my 500s or 350s, have I had to replace that? Is it a single seal? Maybe somebody in the forums can help me out. On the newer engines, is it a single seal or is it still a double seal? Because on the old RFS is when it was up on the cam, that your cam was your coolant shaft. There's 2 seals, and I remember helping a guy with a question the other day that was he replaced everything and it continued to leak and he didn't know why, and everybody said every symptom in the world. Hence one of my rants for like, let's get it together, guys. The easiest way to screw that up is to put the seal in backwards, because the seals are kind of set up a certain way where they can resist pressure in one direction. So they have the seals back to back so that the pressure actually pushes down on the seal. And, they have the spring and everything like that. But if you put it a certain way, the pressure can blow past the seal easier, in my experience. So he replaced the water pump seal and cleaned the water pump shaft. And so it sounds like you're not putting that coolant into the oil any longer, because the oil is not coming up white, but you're still missing the coolant. So here's my options. There is the odd chance that it's leaking past the gasket and going into the cylinder, but I would start looking at stuff that's a little more obvious. Number one is, like you said, you replace the radiator cap. Is there any chance that there could be some imperfections or some grime or something around the seal where that radiator cap is going on that's allowing a little bit of it to go out? And I mean, if everything's good, you're probably, and you can pressure check the water system, the cooling system too, before I would tear anything apart. I would, if I were there, I would pressure check the coolant system to make sure that it's holding pressure. And then also you can do a leak down test, which isn't going to be that conclusive on the motor, but you can check this stuff without having to go into it. But I even look a little bit closer. Like, is there a chance that there's some sort of a leak at one of the hose clamps on your hoses where it's not super noticeable? It could be just, kind of getting out there and evaporating before it runs. Because at 200 miles, we're talking, that's probably 10 hours of riding. And if you're only losing 50 milliliters in 200 hours, I'm going kind of on the deep ends of your equations there. Even if it's 100 milliliters, I could evaporate off 100 milliliters of coolant in 10 hours pretty easy, and you wouldn't actually be able to detect it. So it could be something as simple as just one of the hose clamps being a little wonky. There could be a tiny pinhole in the hose. I've seen hoses fracture on the inside and then have coolant kind of run down the strings that are holding the reinforcement for the hose. I've actually seen it go in there, and then it'll actually created a drip on the one that I saw because I couldn't figure out where it was going. But it was the coolant, something that caused the hardening of the inside, probably excessive overheating, and causes it to happen. So I think I would look at the more simple stuff. I don't think you're going to find it being anything that big. And those KTMs of that era are not. This isn't a normal problem, but it is common for them to boil off a certain amount. If it's only, I would actually let it get a little bit lower. Go ahead and run it 400 hours and see if you have to add 200 milliliters. Because by and large, there's still plenty of coolant in your bike to keep it cool. And then you can see if it's a consistent thing or it's just somehow it's just blowing off that extra amount. And then, maybe he's holding it, running it hard on those easy roads. I don't know however it works. So, hey, Todd, hopefully that answers your question. Sorry you had to wade through all the other stuff, learning about safety. Because if your bike ever lets you down because I gave you bad advice on coolant, it just locks up out in the middle of nowhere, you're going to want to have that safety blanket. So there we go. You handle Sean Elliott. I'm going to get to Robert Miller right now. What tips do you have for riders getting muscle fatigue and soreness after COVID period of non-riding? Kegs of Voltaren? What's that?
I'm unfamiliar with Voltaren.
Well, you better search it up because I don't know what it is. Is that some sort of
vitamin?
Start exercising your brain. Read that.
Voltaren.
We want to have that like professionally read. Voltaren, yeah. Is it some kind of a
arthritis pain medication?
Arthritis pain medication. I never stopped riding during COVID. In fact, I probably started riding a little bit more. So
I think he's like talking like after catching COVID.
Oh,
that's what he's talking about.
Well, then you can answer that.
Yeah.
I haven't had it.
Yeah. So essentially I just kind of made sure I was really emphasizing on riding balanced and, being comfortable and everything, not really pushing it. Kind of like, when I'm getting back into running, I'm just kind of doing little stuff first, then working my way back up.
Are you noticing a huge decrease in performance?
At first, yeah.
At first,
yeah. I can finally say I'm starting to get back up to my pace and everything. Like with running, I'm kind of riding the same amount, so I don't really ride as much as I would like to. But with running, it was just kind of easy back into it.
Voltaren is inflammatory tablets. Thank you. I prefer vitamin I. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's cheap.
That's a good one.
Yeah, the vitamin I. That's it's all they have A, B, C, D. I have I, and it works so good for me. I don't use it that often because I really like the kick it gives me when I haven't had it for a little while. But and evidently it's hard on the thing. Jimmy Lewis and Jimmy Tyler 2024. Wow, he didn't not Logan. Jimmy Tyler, yeah. You're a hero already. Is that your fake account? Is that your fake account? State of the Dirt Bike address.
No, but we're gonna run the country.
Logan can be the speaker of the house.
Get me started no matter the rules I make.
Logan, you want to put the mask on now? You should do what I say and then I'll take you with me. Otherwise I'm taking your dad. And he's old. I don't want an old guy. I need a young, hot.
I don't get the mask thing.
Don't you ever watch like the president speaking?
No.
I don't either, but I see enough of it passing on news and they're always like, he's always got his right hand woman sitting there, or I should call her a left hand woman. I don't know. With a mask on and they're standing 6 feet apart. Anyway, I don't know. I don't get it.
You can only get it off of old people TV.
Old people TV. Oh,
yeah.
You don't watch old people TV?
No.
Yeah.
Are you on TikTok yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What's your thing on TikTok?
I don't know.
You got to set me up.
No, he sent me a TikTok before.
Yeah.
You guys are both on TikTok?
Yeah.
Why aren't we on TikTok?
I said, Matt.
Is Dirt Bike Test on TikTok yet?
No, but Jimmy Lewis Off-Road's going to be on TikTok.
Okay, well then get damn Trevor working on that. Trevor, what are you doing? Just riding your mountain bike, trying to stay fit and stuff? You should be answering Robert Miller's questions. Okay, so back to the muscle fatigue and soreness after. Okay, Robert, was a COVID period like you had COVID, or was your COVID period like you just like isolated like a good person and didn't come out of the sheep farm?
I'm pretty sure
Let me
it's
be Bob's windmill. The media's in your head. Get over it.
Yeah,
Get over it. The media's in your head. Get over it.
Dude,
Move on.
I don't care about TikTok being China's cover. I want to help you, Robert. Tell me what because I have if it was because you haven't ridden for a long time, I have a thing that you can do. Go riding more and enjoy the pain. Enjoy the like. I found this on a skimboard when I was a kid, and it's the motto I live my life by. Enjoy pain while living, for death provides no such pleasure. Okay, I don't want that written on my tombstone because I'll be dead at that point. But if people can realize that, like, there's pleasure in pain. I mean, you if you work hard and it's painful to work hard, you've probably produced something in that hard work that's gonna elevate you. It's gonna make you a better person. And if it's like, damn, this riding hurts and makes me sore, that's a lot better than a flaky ride where you didn't really do anything. You didn't, don't produce pain on purpose. Like, don't crash, but go ride and push yourself. And then the next day of soreness, think back about it. Like, you're sitting there go, oh man, my shoulders ache, or my back's a little bit sore. Go, but I sure had fun making it happen. And then it does a little thing. Oh, he's in Australia.
Oh, yeah, they had some pretty severe lockdown rules over there.
Yeah, we couldn't drive more from 3 miles from our home. We had it for curfews. Yes, this was Australia. Oh, the different world there. See,
Listen to your government.
Yeah, don't listen to your government.
I have for a second. I do.
Yeah, when they first locked us down here in the U.S., it was like literally stay home lockdown. I took off and rode my dirt bike out because, like, how they, what are they going to do? Like, you're gonna catch me? I mean, no. And I'm like, and there was nobody out there. There was, anyways. So, yeah.
Don't be a pussy.
Hey, yeah, Robert, man, I feel for you. It's and it's. I'm lucky. I live in a place where we can ride our dirt bikes down the street and get out to the desert very quickly and do our thing. So, man, I feel for you. I hope that they come to their senses, because now we're starting to maybe sort of think. You know what I heard, Logan? I heard outdoor activities are okay. You're safe. You're not going to get. I heard that there's a very, very low chance that you'll conduct COVID while you're out riding your dirt bike. You might crash and have your lung collapsed, but you will not get COVID. So. Hey, Robert, thanks for being a good fan of the show. And just ride a little bit more. I don't know if there's I wouldn't look for a pill to try to fix it. I would maybe do some more push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups.
And running.
Running
helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, not on a treadmill, though. Run outside. Get chased by dogs. All that cool stuff.
Almost run into a rattlesnake.
Hey, my buddy Jerry B is down there in Australia, and he's from Fuck You Racing, and he should hook you up with some. You should figure him out. You should find out where to locate him. JB Black on the Facebooks is a thing, or Fuck You Racing on the Facebooks. Check them out. He was locked down and he actually was going crazy. So he made a really cool series of videos about him and his buddy on lockdown. And I think you kind of
Robert Miller knows Jerry.
He knows it.
30 minutes.
He's 30 minutes. Yeah. Jerry will help you. So awesome guy. And don't let him paint your helmet, because it'll end up on a shelf like that awesome one up there. Because I crashed and hit my head on it.
Point to it again. The chat box was covering the helmets.
Okay, it's all good. Yeah. Oh, that one up there. Yeah, the Arai was a Jerry B design. Super awesome. Logan, next question.
Sean Elliott, 2017 CRF 450X. During pre-ride inspection, there was a 1/4 of an inch gap between number 3 chain adjusting bolt to number 5 axle plate on the right side. I loosened the axle nut, pushed it back, and torqued it to 90-ish foot-pounds of torque. If the gap occurs again, should I increase the torque on the axle nut? Sorry, another meeting prevents me from listening live, but I will listen to the podcast tomorrow. I wonder if the Husberg 570 ever did this.
Okay, so was there a picture included with this? Because he's talking about number 1, number 3, and number 5. Is he referring to the manual things? Oh, he sent a picture of the manual.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah. So, okay, I got to look at these things.
Let me download it and I can put it up for the chat.
So number 3 is the okay. So basically, his axle was not aligned, and maybe it moved or something like this. So here's the first thing. So when you put that wheel on last, did you do something to force the axle blocks up against the chain adjusters? You've seen me do this. Whenever I put a wheel on, I snug the axle, not snug. I would very lightly tighten. I don't want to call it snug. I take usually a box end wrench, I set it on a sprocket tooth, and I roll the wheel backwards. And this puts tension on the chain and pulls everything tight and forward. Logan, you're yawning.
Mm-hmm.
Logan.
I've been doing it all show.
Logan, are you falling asleep while I'm giving an awesome explanation to the question?
Well, Bob isn't here, so someone has to take his job.
Okay.
That was good.
There we go.
Yeah, best answer of the night. That's good, Logan. Okay, so anyways, you use this method. This is why this show is just so shitty. Like, I'm sorry that you're going to have to listen to this on a podcast tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. So anyways, so what you're doing at this point is you're putting tension on the chain, which pulls the axle blocks, pulls the wheel up against those chain adjusters and tightens it. And at that point, then you snug the axle snug. And then I loosen it up and I check to make sure everything's good. I usually give it a visual on both sides. Then I tighten the axle up. So I'm suspecting that maybe you didn't do that, or maybe if you did, somehow the axle wasn't snug enough to where when you took the tension off the chain, it slid back. And I don't totally tighten it while while the wrench is still in the sprocket. I don't know why, but I just don't do it then. I snug it so it's not going to move, but I check it, then I tighten. So, and then once I'm done tightening, what's the next thing I do, Logan? What's the very first thing I do after I change a wheel?
Brakes.
Reach up and tap the rear brake, because, when you did that caliper, when you put those pads in the caliper, it might have expanded it, and you don't want to take off and ride someplace and the first two stabs of the rear brake are pumping it back up. Pump it back up. Anyways, that's the advice of the show. It's the safety advice of the show, besides all the safety we did in the beginning.
Yeah.
So if you're just cutting into this show now, you should have listened to the first hour, because we had awesome real safety advice, how to, stop yourself from bleeding to death on the trail. So, okay. So that's my thing. No, don't increase the torque if you're properly torquing the axle nut. And have you ever seen me use a torque wrench on those? No, it's just
Yeah.
because I took a torque wrench and went click, click, and then I adjusted my in-arm torque wrench.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's tight enough, it's not going to slip. It's not going to be right. But the other thing that's super vitally important is that your index marks on your swing arm and your axle blocks and all that stuff is square. They do make a tool for this, but you can actually, it's a tool with these cones on it. And it's a straight stick with squares on it, and you put it in the axle and you put it in the swing arm, and you take it over to the other side. You put it in the axle and you put it in the swing arm, and it makes sure that you're all square. And then you can check with this tool. You can actually check to make sure that your basically swing arm pivot is square with your marks on your swing arm. Because I've seen bikes where they're off by, maybe like if it's 4 on one, it's 4.5 on the other side. Mm-hmm. I've seen this before. And I don't want to say what brand or anything like that, because there's actually a couple different bikes I've noticed this on. And it was because I saw weird sprocket wear. Because especially with aluminum sprocket, if you're just a little bit off, you're going to get interesting sprocket wear, and it's going to bring your sprocket teeth to more of a point, by the way. So anyhow, hopefully that answers your question, Sean. Enjoy us on the podcast, and try not to throw up when you hear our explanation. Next question.
Dave Black. Having just replaced the expensive OEM pipe on my 2021 KTM 300 XC TPI, I'm considering the P3 carbon fiber pipe guard. Should I have concerns about heat displacement?
I wouldn't worry about heat displacement, David. And And here's the funny thing with the pipe guards. I don't have them. I've had them on bikes, and I don't have them on any of my current bikes. And it's sort of this double-edged sword. If you're worried about like the rock dings, the small things kind of flying up and putting dings in your pipe, or I would say small to medium hits, pipe guard is great. It deflects them. It does stuff. And by the way, when you put that guard on, whether it's a P3 or E-line, they all make good guards. You'll love the smell for the first 3 rides when that thing heats up and that resin starts burning on the inside. But it doesn't really affect the heat. You're not going to have any heat related problems. The issue with those is sometimes when you take a very aggressive hit to the pipe guard, it seriously damages the pipe in other ways, or I've actually seen it on some 2-strokes actually push the pipe and break the cylinder. So it's one of those things, is the guard more important than the pipe? Is the pipe, it's kind of it's a 2-stroke pipes stick out and they're going to take dents in them, and you may or may not see a benefit from that. So like I said, I've had them on some bikes. I was running on my KTM 200s for a while. I took them off. Actually, believe it or not, I wore one out from hitting it so much. Then I just took it off, and it's just it's a wear item. A pipe is a wear item on the bike, and I wouldn't worry one bit about the heat at all. So, next question.
John Jackson. Going back to carbs, what are your feelings on metering rod carbs versus jet carbs? Advantages, disadvantages.
So, John, I actually do not have enough experience to be like a so-called expert on this, but I just point blank hate carburetors right now. Except if you want to buy my one of my RFS bikes, they are excellent bikes with carburetors. And back to the question, my experience in the limited time I've actually played with the metering rods is that they're way easier to adjust, but it's a lot more complicated to get the exact right metering rod. And I don't know if I haven't played with the newer versions enough. And I don't know, it's probably I bet you it's very similar to the ECUs that are out there, where people just plug an ECU on there and it's like, great, it has more power. And it loses some rideability, where I am so picky, and I'm picky probably like a lot of the guys that do the development riding for the manufacturers, that there has to be a certain amount of rideability to you. You can't have a stumble any place in the power, at least when it's stock and you're running pump gas and, you're at the right elevation, stock, we'll call it. Like when you put a lot of these metering rod things on there, you can make a click and it'll kind of adjust for elevation, but then you don't have the opportunity to adjust certain other things in there. Like you don't have you have to have a very special metering rod to adjust for, pilot jet, what we're commonly called pilot jet, needle jet, whether it's pump squirt or if it's slide or all these other things. There's a lot of stuff in there, and that's why carburetors are so complex, and that's why it's amazing that they get them so good. So hopefully, that answers the question, but just go fuel. I like fuel injection. Anybody in here not like fuel injection?
Guys on the internet tell me I'm not supposed to like it for 2-strokes.
Not supposed to like it for 2-strokes?
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
Right. Well, you're still riding a carbureted Husaberg, so you should just go stick your head in the sand.
Yeah, I rode it the other day. It was fantastic.
What does Eric Wyden want to know up there?
What suspension setup procedure do you use when testing? Front first or rear first? Do you start with compression first or rebound? Or do you switch back and forth between compression and rebound? Man,
Eric, that's an excellent question. That's what is VOM red? Oh, that's a different question. So when I'm testing, so generally speaking, we're going to just, let's say we're starting with stock bike, stock springs, everything. Hopefully you're within the right range for the bike, weight range for the bike. So if I hop on a 125, I automatically know that I'm, at 200 pounds, I'm not the right guy for this. But if I hop on a 450, I'm okay. Even though, like they say, 180 is the top of the scale. I know that I can adjust spring preload. So very first thing I do is make sure the sag is where the manufacturer recommends it. So that's rear shock spring, adjusting the shock spring to get the sag at the right height. From what I can tell, most manufacturers want you to set the sag when the shock is not hot. So it's kind of cold sag, kind of like tire pressure is kind of generally a cold PSI, because when things heat up, stuff changes. So you set the sag, you set the ride height at their level. That's the very first thing you do. And we'll call that the baseline. And then I ride it. And then I decide how I'm feeling this bike works. And usually at that point, you're talking about the balance of the motorcycle. Do I want it, do I want less weight on the front or more weight on the front? And then how am I going to go about adjusting for this? And that's balance, which is kind of different than when we start talking about compression and rebound. There's balance, and then there's suspension performance. So if I'm riding this bike and it's set up, like I said, to manufacturer spec, and I'm riding it and I'm okay with balance, then I'll start thinking about compression and rebound. Like what is the fork doing? What is the shock doing? And I'm more of a shock first person. Like I'm really concerned because I don't know, Logan, I don't know if you're familiar with the bikes that I ride, but I ride a Husaberg 570. And the cool thing about the Husaberg is that the front wheel is rarely ever on the ground. So at that point, like, why even think about forks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is why I go rear first. I'm a rear guy. So if I'm thinking if the balance is okay, then I start thinking about the rear of the bike and how it's working. And I'll start playing around with that first if I'm going to play with it at all. Because in reality, most times I hop on stock bikes and they're really, really good. I don't have a problem with them because I haven't read the internet. Generally, I'm one of the first people, and not anymore because I hardly go to these intros anymore because I'm getting old and we're not cool enough. We don't have enough Instagram followers to get to these intros, or we're not on Snapchat. Do we need to be on Chitter Chat or TikToks? What do we need to be on?
Instagram, really.
Instagram.
Yeah.
We need to be Insta. So we don't have enough Instas to go to these intros. So Trevor's needs to work on that a little bit better. So the bikes are actually pretty good. And so usually the rears, most of the time, the rear of the bikes is really good. And then I can hyper focus on the front because I like a bike that steers. So I have a lot of front end feel, but I'm not going to mess around with the front until I make sure that the rear is doing what I want it to. And the rear is easy because generally when you're really talking about rear performance, you're kind of going in a straight line. Mm-hmm. You're jumping off jumps, you're landing off jumps, you're hitting bumps, which you kind of want to do in a straight line. But then when you start talking about going into turns, then you need to start thinking more about how's my front feel? Because then, you're decelerating, you're on the brakes, and then you're following the front end around a turn. So I can take care of the rear and not worry about the turns and stuff like that. And then I can start, the rear. Okay, now I got the rear good. And now I'll start focusing on the front. So that's the thing. But if I start struggling, or if there's an issue with balance, there's a lot of stuff you can do by sliding the forks up and down in the tubes. And then you've got to also think about, as well as a spring preload, the compression and the rebound can also adjust the balance of the motorcycle. So if you find that you're coming into turns and the rear end feels high, maybe sometimes reducing the compression or the rebound by a couple of clicks can drop that ride height down a little bit. And then there's the same thing with the forks. You come in and your rear end feels high. Well, maybe opening the rebound up in the fork can lift the front end up a little bit. It can cause that front end to rebound quicker and hold it up a little bit higher. And it kind of depends at that point on the feel that you're having. When you're riding in, it's like, well, would I like the rear end to be a little looser? Would I like the front end to be a little, stiffer, or, and then it can be compression as well as rebound. Stiffening it up, can kind of hold it up. So there's so much, there's a lot to it. And then like I use the high speed rebound, for instance, on the shock as in motion sag. So if I notice that my bike's riding a little bit low in the stroke on the track, before I actually go to add spring preload to it, I might just add a quarter turn of high speed compression, and that literally kind of picks it up. So there's a lot of stuff, and that's why those knobs are adjustable. You can play with them and you can try that stuff out. So hopefully that'll help it. But I would start with ride height, then figure out what's more important. I think the rear shock is a little bit easier to get, and then start playing around with the forks. But balance is critical. Have your bike balanced before you start trying to get into the suspension, and realize that any suspension adjustment you do could affect the balance a little bit. So, and if you don't know what the suspension adjustments feel like find a place where you can go and actually test big changes. Try 5 clicks of compression on one thing, 5 clicks of rebound on the other. Do one thing at a time and see if you can feel it. So that should help everything out.
Okay.
What's next?
Back here.
Hey, George just checked in late. He wants to catch up later when it's uploaded to the nets. He missed our State of the Union. State of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
He would be really impressed with my pontification.
Let's do one more from the sheet, and then let's get to Rooster Endo.
Okay.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah,
People want to get on that again?
I think they do.
Okay, Logan, get with it.
Bill Hall. It's my understanding that the master has ridden Mexico to Canada sometime back. Maybe Jimmy can tell the
I'm
audience.
the president. You should have just in flow. You should have just called me the president. So start again.
It's my understanding that the president has ridden Mexico to Canada sometime back. Maybe president can tell the audience how riding has differ for the Tour of Idaho compared to those old days.
So Mexico, his question is Mexico to Canada versus Tour of Idaho. Well, back to the State of the Union. Mexico, we aren't at war with Mexico. And Canada, we're not letting those Canadians in, are we? Are we letting them back in yet?
Yes.
Oh, they're back in?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to ride from one place to another, it's important that you ride your dirt bike so you don't get caught in case there's COVID, and you don't want to catch COVID on the roads, right? George rode Mexico to Canada, but it was on I-5 on a Harley. So Mexico to Canada it's more dual sporty than Tour of Idaho. There wasn't the difficult single track. You should just clock me in the head with that thing one time, knock me out, and then take over the show. Wouldn't it be awesome?
I bet it gets silent real quick.
It gets silent real quick, yeah.
I thought the people liked it when Logan and I were hosting in the studio.
They were just saying that because you could turn the show off at any time.
Oh, this also might be a factor.
They wanted more. So I think they both have their things. It's like anything. It's like somebody say, is it Dakar more difficult than more tough than the Baja 1000, and is GNCC racing more hard than Hare and Hounds and all? There's one thing or another, and I think I think they're both kind of in the same realm. Mexico to Canada was a little bit easier. I know now they kind of split the tour up. When you go do the tour, they split it up over. It's kind of 2 trips. I don't think they do it. We were stupid. Just like Tour of Idaho, I was stupid. I cut a day out. I tried to do Mexico to Canada. I doubled up some days, and it was mostly because I had to get back to what was evidently my real job, and my boss didn't want me out riding motorcycles for 12 days and while the rest of the staff was working. Not that I wasn't working and testing motorcycles and doing something super cool, but You know how it is. Right, Logan? You're living the life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Free motorcycles in the garage. Hardly have to go to school at all. Just out roaming.
The school I have to go to a lot, but
Really? Doesn't seem like it.
no.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. So, hey, if you want to experience pure performance and accelerating power with the full line of YZ two-stroke bikes, then get a Yamaha. Go to YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new for 2022. And I tell you what, their website is actually pretty cool. You can learn about those bikes. They have some kind of cool videos there. And the best thing is the revised YZ125. It's a perfect step-up machine, or a perfect machine for an old guy like me that likes ripping around on one of the most fun motorcycles known to man. All new engine, revised 6-speed transmission, new brakes, suspension settings, improved rider ergonomics with the new aggressive styling. That means it looks cool. So they have a YZ250, a YZ65, a YZ85, a YZ85LW with tests on dirtbiketest.com. Test actually riding impressions on dirtbiketest.com right now. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com to find your Yamaha YZ so you can enter the victory zone. Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Why did you not enter the victory zone this weekend?
Because I did not ride the YZ125.
Right. But why didn't you ride the YZ125? What was more compelling than that YZ125 in the garage? Does it start with a P?
P?
Yeah. And with a Y? Kind of like my cat? Okay.
Oh, God.
It came down quick, Matt.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I hate how long that took me to get.
Yeah, it's okay. Robert Miller says, speaking of old day, Jimmy, in about 1984, you rode an XR80, XR100, and the Baja 1000. Can you remember what it was like? Yes, that was one of the most fun times I've ever had on a motorcycle with some of my buddies. That was 1980. 90, it wasn't 80. It was 90. It was 96 or 98, one of those 2 years. I think it was 98 because, no, maybe it was 96. I don't remember. It was my tryout for the factory team. You know, I proved to Honda that I could almost win the 250 class on an XR80, so they moved me up to the factory XR600 because Johnny Campbell needed a partner. I mean, he's really digging deep to ask me to ride with him, but I had some credibility. Okay, we're going to go to Rooster Endo. This is the segment where, what do we do, Logan? We
Don't say
so
that.
this is the
Don't say
this is the segment again. We're gonna get back into this. What are we gonna about? What's Rooster Endo? Tell everybody what it is.
We rate your bike and see if it roosts or endos. You send in some parts and like part sheet.
You tell us what kind of bike it is. That's
Yeah.
very important. We need to know the year, make, and model. And then you list off your modifications, right? And then we sit here and pontificate over it, and we decide whether you've spent enough money. And if you are our favorite bike of the evening, you win $100 gift certificate from Taco Moto. That's tacomoto.co. It's a place where you can get all the parts you need for pretty much whatever you want, but they really specialize in making your KTM Husky gas bikes perform better. So thanks to Taco Mike. We got to get him on the show one of these times.
We do.
I actually supposed to call him, but I keep forgetting because I'm petting my cat. So I'm really concerned about the P and it ends with the Y too.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sebastian Buma.
Oh, good. We're back to the name.
Bustamante.
Bustamante.
Sebastian. Yeah, Bustamante. Yes.
2018 450 EXCF 6 days. Vortex ECU. EE protectors all over. FMF 4.1. C concepts. Polysport clear plastics. Cyclops headlight. Size Tech. Sims
Whoa,
Tech.
so he has these clear plastics. I remember these things. Those were pretty cool. They were like kind of see-through. Yeah, this bike looks good. This is a good looking machine. Keep going.
Moto minded dash, Midwest engineering clutch and brake levers, Cycra head handguards, and some other small bits. Nothing too crazy.
Some other small bits. I'm doing the check. You know what the Jimmy check is? I'm just scanning over. First thing I go to, I just look at that front wheel to make sure there isn't anything weighing down that front end of that motorcycle, and I'm not seeing anything.
It's only on the rear.
Yeah, it's only on the rear. The rear needs it. It's real easy to drag that rear disc through something that it doesn't want to go through. The front, not so much. He has a tugger strap on the front of that thing. It's funny because this bike looks so clean, but it's set up to get busy. I like this bike. This is a nice bike. That's roostable. Our roost area is getting kind of
Tall.
Pretty big there.
Yeah, it's getting big.
But don't worry, there's an endo in there.
Can you see? Oh, yeah. Thanks for the warning. Can you see my Husaberg on the end? The one at the very end at 570?
No. We got to
it's off the screen.
It's off the screen. We need to get a bigger. We need to pull this thing back.
We need to get a bigger camera.
Bigger camera. Yeah.
Okay, what's next, Logan?
Here.
So this is a before and after picture from Seth. So that's the before.
Okay.
Which I'm going to pull up the
Seth
before picture.
Who?
Is it Seth or
John Stockwell.
John Stockwell.
Yeah, so I'll pull up the before for everyone to can see.
Okay, so I'm looking at a Rogue Echo bike. Looks like a seat with a fan blade on it, and those handlebars that articulate back and forth so you can build up your boobs. Makes your boobs. Talk about it, Logan. Let's go.
It's not on that.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's on the after, which is now on the screen for the viewers.
Oh, so we're going to talk about his bike.
Yeah.
2022 350.
Oh, so there's amazing transformation. It's like he rode that exercise bike enough, or he bought the exercise bike for his wife, and then he was able to buy an exercise bike for himself.
Oh, I've had fun on those exercise bikes.
That motherfucker's got a.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, Logan, tell us what it is.
2022 350 XCF. Just protective bits. Header guard, rad guard, hand guards, skid plate, tires changed to gold tire 216 and 333.
So pretty stock bike. I like the stock KTM's. Looks nice. I'm not sure where the exercise bike came into the whole thing. It's probably that joke is about as stupid as this whole show. You think so? There's a little fishing there, but I like the effort. I really do like the effort on the roost of the endo. I'm sorry, the endo of submitting a stock bike and thinking that it roosts, because there's no way that this whole show or this aftermarket industry would survive with people like you buying exercise bikes instead of ECUs. Okay,
Yeah.
next
This
question.
next one could be, I don't know where it's going with you.
Oh boy.
'Cause,
Oh yeah. There's good and bad here. Let's go.
yeah. Michael Pounds, 2015 KTM 500 EXC. ECU flashed in 2015 was the hot setup back then. C concepts, low seat, flex bars,
Yes.
Jimmy Lewis, tiny
Flex
tail mod.
handbars. You like those, Matt?
Black sandbar.
Flex handlebars.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
They're nice.
Yeah.
No, you should say they're really nice. You got to make a call tomorrow
I do have to make a call
about this.
Yeah.
Flex handlebars. Like you should just say right now, like I'm going to. They're on every single one of my personal bikes.
Oh yeah.
And if they're not on my personal bike and I have to ride a bike that doesn't have them, I may not want to ride the next day because my wrists hurt.
I can immediately tell the difference in a motocross track for how long you can be out there without them versus with them.
Oh, I don't come back when I have a
flex bar.
flex bars. Yeah, I know. It's tough. Okay, so good mod. Keep going, Logan.
Kinder Parker tires front and back.
Excellent tires. They support Jimmy Lewis off-road training.
Suspension set for my weight. TMD bash plate and chain slider. Trail Tech kickstand. Bulletproof rad guards. Oh, radiation guards.
Radiation guards.
Or radiator guards.
Oh, I like radiation guards better.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if he lived near us, he'd be riding close to Area 51. You get a lot of radiation.
You were
Probably
riding with a
better,
glow stick last weekend with Johnny?
Did I have a glow stick on?
No, he works at the test site. Area 51.
Oh, Johnny's a glow stick.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought he was a bouncer at a strip club. Where'd you find out he worked at that place? Johnny, you lying to me again? Jeez.
Scott Stamper and more. Super nice bike, over 500 hours on her.
It didn't say anything about chainsaw rack.
No.
It didn't. The only thing that's bad about the handlebar mounted chainsaw rack is the weight you put on the front of the bike. But the work you're doing on the trails speaks for itself. You're the guy everybody else either needs you to go riding first or they want to go riding with. Actually, usually they don't want to go riding with you because you stop and cut logs and they have to wait. But if they get off their damn bike and they're ready to get the log when it comes disconnected and throw it out of the way, you guys move at a pretty good rate of speed. So I applaud you. And for that, you roost way up there. Yeah. Next bike.
Seth Waterfall.
Seth Waterfall. Blue Crew.
2022 YZ250 FX. Recluse Radius CX. No Toil Superflow air filter. Enduro Engineering radiator braces and perch mount handguards. AXP skid plate. FMF 4.1 slip on. TM Design Works shark fin. Nitro Moose. Platinum front. Plushy rear.
Is he a friend of Trevor's? He's got all the stuff on it. That's good. That's a weapon, that bike. That's a really nice motorcycle. Nothing too bad. It does look good. It looks good. It's just blue and blue. Yeah.
He's on I like the trail, the background.
Yeah. That's a sweet ride.
This is like my favorite photo.
Oh,
submitted.
well, yeah, you look at the trail. The only reason what was our last guy's name?
Seth Waterfall?
Yeah. The only reason this is Seth. Who's the guy before him?
Oh,
Michael.
Yeah, the only reason that trail looks that good is because Michael was out there cutting the trees for you.
Cut the
John.
log that's in
No,
this
wait.
picture.
No, John?
no.
Which guy?
Michael.
Michael was. Yeah. But that is a sweet that not only makes me want to ride. For some reason that bike, because I know how good that bike is, just really, really makes me want to ride. If I were like, I would be torn right now if I was on that bike, whether I wanted to have the WR suspension or the FX suspension. And the funny thing is the question is, how fast would I want to be riding the trail? If I wanted to ride at slower, more trail riding pace, WR. If I wanted to kind of have a little aggression and race, I would FX. But that is a really sweet bike. Does it have a big tank on it? Didn't have a big tank, did he? Can't ride enough. And Roost.
Good looking bike.
Seth McNeil. Knee. 2020 FE 501 with every possible mod. Idaho single track Slayer.
Is that was the entire list?
Yeah.
Well, he has a front brake disc guard. It's blue.
Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Matt. You didn't think I was like magnetically attracted to that?
Yeah.
I noticed he did kind of shoot the angle a little bit so I couldn't see it, but that's okay. This is Seth. Seth is obviously out. Seth.
Scene.
It's
Scene.
Sean.
Scene. You're obviously out riding too much. I thought you said Seth earlier.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, man, that school is not really working out for you, Logan. Have you considered a job in the door installation industry?
I have.
You have.
Yeah.
Because I've been telling you about this. I have this trailer over here that needs a door installed. The door is actually in the trailer.
Ready to go.
It's evidently ready to go. I know the company that supplied the door, and with you butchering Scene's name like this, I think we need to start talking about the door installation business. Yeah, Scene. Yeah, Scene. Well, Seth earlier, but it's okay. The good thing is Scene is so busy riding, he doesn't want to tell us anything about his bike, which looks like a pretty fairly nice setup bike. I like big tanks. I like some luggage because he's out riding. I like the Tour of Idaho. But the front disc guard just pushed it off the edge, and he probably knew that right off the bat. And that's
I need every mod.
And he doesn't have every mod.
No, he said he has every mod.
Is it what?
Yeah.
He said every mod.
That's
With
verbatim.
every
I have
possible mod.
every
Hold on a
mod
second.
available.
Let's see. Every mod. No, you don't have every mod. I don't see a damn chainsaw. I don't see a chainsaw rack on the front of it. That's an important mod. And I don't see.
He doesn't have a wheelie bar.
I don't see a DDC sprocket. That's an important mod, especially for somebody concerned about trails. I don't see a Trail Tech kickstand on there. That's important. And with all that extra weight you put on it, you might want to put one on there. I don't know if I can see. I don't know if I see Fast Company Flex handlebars, but I'd mention those, right, Matt?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
important to start mentioning that.
It's going to be important.
You need to cut this section out of the thing and send it over to Cole when you talk to him.
Yeah, we're putting this under sanctions.
Right.
Yeah.
Good at sanctions.
Yeah.
I'll stay with you, and we're going to talk about sanctions. We're sanctioning certain companies that we don't talk about. And other ones. This bike is endoing officially because the list wasn't. At least he told us the. Did he take your make and model? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But you need a chainsaw on the front. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, which one wins for you, Logan?
The Michael.
Why?
Because I didn't know how it was going to go over with you. Because it's got a lot of stuff that you don't like, and a lot of stuff that you did.
Right.
And
But it's funny because you say what I like, what you said what I like and what I don't like. I like and I don't like. But that doesn't, what I like doesn't matter. Just like what I like doesn't matter to him and what he likes doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I just look at it as a package. And that guy has his bike set up for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a high mileage, heavily used bike. You can see it. And he's got a damn chainsaw on the front of the damn thing. And I'm one of these guys that gets to go riding on trails. I don't live in some of these areas, and there's guys that go out and clear trails and do trail work, just like we come down here and we do trails and we try to preserve riding access. We don't have to clear our trails so much. We try to preserve riding access from like a solar farm, for instance, or we try to let people know that this is a single track trail, not a UTV trail. We try to do this. This is important. This is really important for people that are out there. It's like you gotta do your part, put a little bit back in, and that guy's putting a little bit back in because he's not riding around with I sure as hell hope he's not, and I don't think he is. He's not riding around on a chainsaw in front of his bike as a piece of decoration, like a bling oil cover or a fancy funny billet anodized piece you put on your front fork down below your bottom of the fork that protects the disc, that thing. I don't even want to say the word. So anyways, you think that, Roos? It wins? I think it wins hands down. This was a nice bike as well. Actually, all the bikes tonight were pretty nice bikes.
Oh, except the exercise bike.
The exercise bike, if that bike got him that motorcycle, I don't know. Maybe if he's sitting on that thing and doing that kind of exercise, he needs to ride more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, can you send that to Taco Mike to make sure that
Michael Pounds. Michael Pounds.
Awesome.
You
Thanks for sending all these things in. I know we got a bunch of them turned in today. We'll get to the other ones on a future show. And Robert Miller says, apart from supporting the aftermarket, what is the most modified bike you have ridden and loved and also hated? Apart from supporting the aftermarket. Oh, I did say I was supporting the aftermarket. I support everybody in the motorcycle industry. The most modified bike I have ridden, loved, and also hated. Can we table that question for?
Yeah, we can put it in because the show's starting to
get old.
Logan's awake.
We need to declare war on something. So we're going to declare war on this show going over 2 hours. And I'm going to clip it right now.
Okay.
So you guys need a Honda Fat Cat
If you
TR200 if you want to clear trails. Yeah. Rokon would be better. All-wheel drive.
Oh.
Honda little generator motor. Put gas in the tires. You could be out clearing trails for like a couple weeks. So anyhow, thank you everybody for joining in, watching us. It's been awesome seeing you all again. Thanks for joining in the chat. If you're not on the chat and you're listening to it at a later date, maybe on the SoundClouds or the iPod podcasts,
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
all those things. Thank you for supporting the show. Tell a friend about it. Share it. Make your friend listen to it while you're driving out to the next riding area. Say, hey, this guy's an idiot. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Logan. But you'll learn something from the other dude. So I just slammed you, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was so sweet. Okay. So thank you. And anything else we need to mention? We'd like to thank,
sponsors.
Yeah, for sure. Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports. That's Scott Sports is the goggles that you need. Climb, DDC, DDCracing.net, Trailtech, Trailtech.net. A lot of these are .nets. Takomoto is takomoto.co. So, and if you want to get into the victory zone, visit yamahamotorsports.com. And with that, we will...
See you out on the trail.
Right, Logan. See ya.